and we'll move it off in this direction. There we go. We get about 45 to 50. That's 45 miles an hour. Here are all the places potentially affected by the storm going through the city, going through the western half of Henrico County, and ending up into portions of southern Hanover County. That's going to be around 2:15 this evening. So we're looking at Cambridge, we're looking at Woodmont, we're looking at Old Gun, we're looking at Firely, we're looking at Hadley Mills between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon. Again, a radar detected tornado that exists in that location, continuing to move off towards the north. And you can kind of see the kind of wiggly shape to that warning right there. But here is the storm, very close to Brandon Mill right now. Emily is over on weather 2. If you could, Emily, look on the traffic system, take a look at the picture from 288 and see if you see anything right there going on with that storm.
Absolutely. I actually just was looking at that. You read my mind, John. It looks like there is quite a bit of rain coming down in that area, but I don't actually see anything on that traffic camera. But again, we are seeing some very tight rotation out near Clover Hill High School. That is making its way off to the northeast at 50 miles an hour.
Right, so this is one of these situations. It's a fast-moving storm. It is rain-wrapped, so you're not going to have much notification. And again, tornado warning, what you want to do is get as surrounded as possible and as low to the ground as possible. Obviously, if you have a basement in your house, go down to the basement. If not, you go into an interior room in your house. And in all honesty, even though it's 70 degrees outside, if you start to hear something that sounds like a freight train coming your direction, that's the classic audio signal of it. Grab the winter coat, grab a hat, put it on, get in the closet and hide from that storm. So here we are right now with this circulation. Again, it's actually kind of wound down a little bit right here by Brandon Mill. But again, the shear rate on this storm as we speak right now, that shear rate has just jumped up, as you can see right there, coming a little bit closer. Just drop back down a little bit. So this is flaring, as you can see, but right there, that's 288 and the end of the Powhite Parkway. Okay, so that's over by where the fire station happens to be, the food line used to be a Winn-Dixie at one time. Social Security office is also located right over in this area, and Swift Creek Elementary School just off to the right of that. So this is coming up, as you can see, Lux Lane. So this will move up towards Lux Lane. This is going to move up into the area around Smoke Tree. It's going to move up towards Epiphany Catholic Church, and of course goes straight to the north up this way, takes you up towards J.B. Watkins Elementary School, and then takes you up into Midlothian itself. So again, this is the area of shear twisting in the atmosphere that is being detected across the area right now, and this storm moving rapidly off towards the north-northeast at nearly 50 miles per hour. So wind the view back out. We will go back to our conventional radar picture to show you what's going on right here with this. Let's click that. Click, please. Doesn't want to do it for me. There we go. There's the reflectivity, and you can see this is the storm. And again, sometimes with these storms, what they do is if they drop a tornado, they go for a short distance, it lifts, and then it cycles and goes through. A lot of twisting in the atmosphere today, so even if there's not a tornado there is a good chance we are going to see 50 to 60 plus mile an hour wind gusts. So velocity data showing you what's going on right now with the storm, okay, shows these right here. Here's our little weak couplet, okay, that is ongoing with this storm right now. So these are moving away from the radar site. These are moving towards the radar site. So here's where we've got our circulation this way. And again, these numbers may not be as high as you would expect because of how quickly things are moving across the region with that storm. So once again, tornado warning in effect, Chesterfield County, Western Henrico, the city of Richmond, South Central Hanover County. That is until 2:15. The storm now, you can see it's just moved its way up a little bit further. Click some of the wind data in there. 47 miles an hour this shear here, 3 miles an hour. Not really all that impressive. If we look at storm relative velocity, which accounts for the forward movement of the storm. See, it doesn't show the huge numbers. The shear rate still seems to be the best indicator on what's going on here. Right through here with this little here. So Lux Lane, it's now crossing. It's moving over towards Hilton Park, Farnham Drive. There is Brighton Green, okay, so this is going to be Midlothian Turnpike. So this is now basically right by Epiphany Catholic Church. It is by Monacan High School. It is by Gordon Elementary School. As it comes across here, it's going to move into the intersection of Courthouse, Midlothian, and Huguenot. So this is going to be, you've got the Exxon station right here. You've got the Amoco station there. You've got Chesterfield Town Center here. You go a little further to the north, Whole Foods and Office Depot located here, and you go up to where you've got Home Depot and you've got Best Buy over there, and you go a little further up this way. That's going to take you up towards the Publix, also take you up towards the Kroger. So that's the location that we are at with this storm. So it is on the west side of Courthouse Road right now. Emily.
To remind our viewers is tornado safety, where you need to go when you are under a tornado warning. So remember, you need to be in an interior room inside of your house, away from all windows. If you have a basement, perfect, go inside of that basement. That's where you want to be at this moment. Inside the basement, if you do have a bathroom down there, make sure that that's where you end up going down there. But again, if you don't have a basement, an interior room is the place to be, preferably a bathroom inside of the house where there are no outside walls, anywhere that's as far away from the outside, as much between you and the outside as possible if you are in this tornado warning. Again, something else that we have gotten word of is that RPS is holding students inside during this tornado warning. So if you have a student with RPS schools, that is where they are. Richmond Public Schools is where they are inside right now. That's where they're keeping them. But again, if you are under this tornado warning, you need to go inside to an interior room. You need to be in a bathroom, preferably the bathtub if that's where you are, again, or a interior closet, as long as you have as many walls between you and the outside as possible. John, I saw you go over to the printer. Do you have any new information?
Nothing new printed out, but I was just checking on the update of the warning. Still remains in effect. Again, right here, shear rate has just come back up a little bit, okay? So we're now here northeast of Courthouse Road. This is over in the area where UCROP's corporate headquarters used to be, the DMV, okay, located right here. So that's where the shear rate has picked up a little bit once again for this storm. We'll go ahead and query that and show you the numbers have jumped up. These should be in the low teens here. Yeah, 11.9 meters per second. I bet you if we put on other indicators for you, we can kind of probably see a shear storm listed right at this spot. It doesn't want to show it to me right there, so it's not indicating a shear storm being picked up, but that's the shear rate associated with this storm. We'll go ahead, go back, just dropped a little bit. Want to go in here. This is our tornado debris detector. Not showing that much quite yet over us. One of the things is this kind of looks at how similar everything is that's falling from the sky or up there. Raindrops all look the same, so it's a nice bright red color. When you start getting debris tossed up, it's not as uniform, so the numbers get cooler. They head down towards the blue. Last night they had the storm south of Birmingham. They had debris 13,000 feet in the atmosphere. Could see a very big time blue circle right there on the radar showing that. So we're going by the reflectivity here. Again, this is kind of sheared out a little bit. There's the little hole right here. Okay, just about to cross Midlothian Turnpike, a little bit off to the west of us here, showing the Hilton Park area. So it's over towards not too far away from Reams Elementary School. And it's also going to come up and probably cross right here by Mount Nebo. So it's going to come very close to the intersection of Robius and Midlothian Turnpike. And that's going to be within about the next 2 or 3 minutes. Widen the view out a little bit for you, show you the storm as it continues to lift off to the north. So it's probably going to go on the west side of town. Expand this out a little bit more so we can add in a new storm track on it for you to show you where it happens to be headed. And going to go this way, so we take it from right where that green dot is, right there, and we're going to slide this off in this direction. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. That should be about 45 miles an hour. Here are all the places it's going to head to. So Tuckahoe in the west end. It's going to head up towards Glen Allen. It's going to head up towards Laurel. It's going to head up towards Lakeside. You can see the times right here. Old Gun, which is going to be in about 3 minutes from right now, because this thing's moving fast. Close to 50 miles an hour. Highland Hills, as you can see, by the time we get to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Once again, you are watching live special weather coverage, a tornado warning, Chesterfield County, western part of Henrico County, south central Hanover County, and the city of Richmond. It is in effect until 2:15 this afternoon. That's what's ongoing with that. The circulation and the shear from this storm now crossing Midlothian Turnpike. It's now headed up into portions of the Bon Air area. Now, I do want to point this out, okay? If you are south of 288, while it is raining over you right now, this tornado threat has passed by. So Brandermill, Woodlake, the Foxes, you head over towards Magnolia Green, Harper's Mill, all those areas, you are out of this threat as of right now, okay? So it's north of 288, really north of Midlothian Turnpike, now about to cross up and go over Huguenot Road, cross over the James River, and that's going to go up across River Road, Patterson Avenue. So we're going to head up over towards Godwin High School. We are going to head up towards Gayton Elementary School, the one that's right at Patterson and Patterson Gayton Road, Pinchbeck Elementary School over there in Henrico County. So that's the area where that is going on right now. We can hear more stuff printing out right now, a new update coming out on the warning for us coming off the printer. So again, that is this storm. Again, we can look at the shear level for you, the shear rate that's ongoing. Again, now concentrated smack dab over Bon Air, not too much in the city. This would be the twisting reported in the storm. So here we are over Brighton Green. This is Bon Air. So this is not too far away. It's the other side of the street from the television station where we're seeing this potential circulation West Huguenot Road. So, you know, Trader Joe's is right up in this location here. And there, of course, is the area right around Stony Point. We've got VCU at Stony Point. Emily, what you got right there?
National Weather Service has indicated an area of rotation over Tuckahoe that's also capable of producing a tornado, and I do see that here. Very light area of rotation, it looks like, so that is something that we need to keep an eye on. Again, the more impressive rotations down near Bon Air, but they are highlighting Tuckahoe as well as Glen Allen. Again, we're seeing those areas of rotation. We've seen the storm producing rotation throughout most of the afternoon, at least for the past hour, and it's been doing that since it came up from North Carolina not too long ago. So this is a storm that has a history of producing some strong gusty winds and the possibility of some rotation, John.
And just while you're there, just go ahead, Emily, just widen that map out because we want to show you there was a tornado warning just the other side of the border in North Carolina. That one has gone down, and they had some tornado warnings down in North Carolina. Those have now been changed to severe thunderstorm warnings, but all these storms that are on the map, they're all swinging rapidly up off towards the northeast. So they're going to be coming up along this boundary over us here. The winds upstairs are absolutely howling, so they're producing a lot of twisting in the atmosphere. So this is going to be a busy afternoon for us. This one has just spiked back up once again here. Okay, it's now crossing 150, Cherokee Hills, Nottingham area, Chippenham Farms, Oxford, Chippenham Village. So you can see it's now moved, basically there's Forest Hill Avenue right through here. So now very close to Huguenot High School, and again continues to move off to the northeast. Again, we're not getting any of the rotating cylinders that you see. This is not a classic Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas tornado type situation to deal with. These are very low in the sky. They're not towering 50, 60,000 feet up. They're only going up about 20,000 feet. So we get very quick spin-ups out of all of these, and they're very low. So a lot of the typical markers that you see aren't going to work for this. Again, take a look on the regular radar data that you can see and kind of show you what's going on here. This is our reflectivity data. So the storm right here, the heavy part of this, Berkwood Estates, Oxford, Chippenham Village. If there's something maybe over here, Cherokee Hills. All right, because you can see a little notch right in here. Let's go ahead and grab the pencil, and we'll grab the pencil and put it in and kind of show you what's going on here. So there's a little notch right in there. This is where we may see something going on at this time. That's where there could be a circulation wrapped in. And again, remember one of the things here in Virginia, a lot of our tornadoes tend to be rain wrapped. We really don't get very good pictures of lots of them because of the fact that there's rain around them. It was much of the situation back when we had Florence in 2018. The storm that hit down off of Hull Street was the exception. Hit down Hull Street over by where the 7-Eleven is, over by Genito Road and the movie theaters. That was an exception. 1993, which was the storm that hit down in Colonial Heights, that was an exception. There's only one picture of that storm that exists, by the way, okay? I happen to have a copy of that. So, okay, here's the storm right now. Again, up here towards Tuckahoe, notice the intense dark area of precipitation right here over by River Road Hills, over in the River Road area. So there is some very heavy rainfall in here. Could be indicative of a little bit of hail, most likely just heavy downpours associated with this. Once again, we have another 13 minutes to go on this tornado warning that has been issued for Metro Richmond, okay, now in Chesterfield County. Let's go ahead and talk about this in Chesterfield County. All right, the Brandon Mill area is that, well, actually looks like they just updated the warning and cut part of it down because there they trimmed it out. So it's really only north of Courthouse Road, okay, where it is south of Courthouse Road. You're fine from this, but it takes you up into the west side, takes you up towards Lakeside, and this is going to continue all the way up here into portions of south central Hanover County. I don't think it's going to go over into the Mechanicsville area, but it may make it over towards Route 1. So it's going to go over towards, up towards the Virginia Center Commons area, up through there, up towards Ashland. Could possibly affect, if it goes far enough, Patrick Henry High School. All right, so those are the locations. Again, so this warning in effect now for another 13 minutes for us across central Virginia. Put a new storm track on it for you. Take this guy off to the north and move him off to the north in a hurry, as you can see right there. We'll take it from right here, again, up in this direction. Again, it's moving very fast, almost 50 miles an hour. All right, so that's a 49-mile-an-hour speed. Here are the locations. You can see Lakeside by the time we get to 2:09, Brook Hill, Laurel Village, okay, West Jenningsville by 2:09 p.m. And then you've got up into Ashland, and you go further north, even up towards Doswell. It'll probably go up between Ashland, if it continues on this path, between Ashland and Hanover County Courthouse as we speak right now. So that would put it very close to Kersey Creek, Hanover High School, Oak Knoll, that complex right there. That's going to be probably about 2:15 or 2:16, so they need to be wary of that up in that area. Emily, I saw you, because I can sometimes see around the corner of my eye what Emily's working on the computer. You had a traffic camera up.
I did, yes. So I pulled up a traffic camera out near Tuckahoe. Hold on, let's see if it'll load here. Yeah, west of Glenside Drive. I don't see anything. Again, like you were saying, a lot of our tornadoes here in Virginia are often rain-wrapped. But again, I-64 just west of Glenside Drive, we are seeing a heavy amount of rain on that roadway. If you know someone who's out on that road on I-64, call them, maybe tell them to get into a safe place, because we are seeing quite a lot of rain out there, John. We've seen a bit of it as we've been throughout the morning, and that rain also makes for some very dangerous conditions. Heavy rain is one of the threats that we were expecting to see today with these severe thunderstorms moving through. So,
very heavy downpours associated with it, and again, strong gusty winds no matter what. It has been windy through much of the day. Those winds that are upstairs, okay, they're upstairs. You go 5,000–10,000 feet, winds are blowing 70 miles an hour, and that can get pulled down by those heavy downpours and produce the strong
pretty
damaging
gusty
wind
out there near Glenside Drive.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see the rooster tails there on those cars also at that point. It'd be interesting to see if you can slide that over. See if you can grab a camera at 288 and 64. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and clear that camera. Just clear that camera off and grab one 288 and 64 and see what see what pops up on that. So see the western extent of this and see what we see on that one right there. Now I'd see. Not as much there.
Not as much
there. So then the next spot to check would be Staples Mill and off to the east. Okay, Staples Mill and 64, 33 and 64. It would probably be coming down pretty good at that location also. So that would be another spot that we can check to see what's going on. So that should be right about it.
Close.
Yeah, 64. Yeah, of course it does that. There it goes. Okay, see, it's light there. So again, it's that area around Glenside, which will take you over towards the Hanover County complex there, where we're seeing all this going on. So let's come back here and take another look at the radar to see what's happening again on Weather 1 as we come through. And again, this is the track we have on the storm. Again, that warning continues, but it has been trimmed down for the southern part of Chesterfield County. Further off to the north we go. Here we go. Let's take you in. We're coming closer on this storm. Bring it down. It's now getting really on top of 64 right now. So that's the core of it, Lakeside area. So as you can see right through here, we've got Lakeside, we've got East Highland Park. All right, so again, this is the spot we would look at by Ginter Park and Brook Hill. So we've got 95, Brook Road, which is US 1, and then you've got Chamberlain, which is 301, where they had the terrible accident the other night, located off to the west. That continues. Ginter Park area right through here. So this is the rotation, potential rotation, that we see ongoing in the storm right now. So this is where we're going to have the circulation coming in here, right there, to show you what is going on. So if there's anything, it's right here, just to the west, right there. Okay, that's probably where we see something ongoing right now. Okay, what was that? Oh, okay, so, and then we can see right through here, continuing to go through another area up towards Willard Road and those locations. Emily, what you got?
We have a report of a funnel cloud out near Woolridge Road. This just came down from the National Weather Service.
Okay, so that was the spot we were looking at back with that shear when we said it was in the area down here around Woolridge Road. So it'd be over the western side of Chesterfield County, western side of Woodlake by Woodlake Elementary School, over by Swift Creek Reservoir. So that would be most likely the location where that has come down, and possibly, again, report of a funnel cloud not a tornado touchdown necessarily. Okay?
Right, and we've also heard that Chesterfield Public Schools is also holding students until the bus releases, or they're holding them from the bus.
Hold them from the bus releases.
Letting them outside, yes.
Yeah,
so.
although down to, really, Midlothian Turnpike southward, they're fine. They're fine. Midlothian Turnpike southward, they're fine. Now the concern is Hanover County and points off to the north. You can see the shear marker that's just popped up right on I-95 at 295 there. That's on Emily's computer right there in that location, so you can see that. Emily, go ahead and slide that up, right up here. Take it up to I-95, 295. You can see the shear marker right there. It's right on top of your head.
I was looking back at the severe thunderstorm.
Yeah, the severe thunderstorm down to the southwest, and there's the little red dot in there. Again, that's the area, and again, these storms are not very tall in the atmosphere, so what is twisting them, okay, are the very strong winds aloft. This is not a tornado, a Kansas, Oklahoma type tornado where we get all the beautiful pictures and all the video from the storm chasers that come through. Again, this would be wrapped in the rain in this area. So this storm right through here, and again, this warning has another 7 minutes to go on it, okay? Possibility it could be extended further off to the north and northeast, but again, we see that continuing here. Okay, as we go through and come in a little bit closer. So it's in the I-95 area. You can see where Emily has it circled right there. So that's crossing I-95 and about to get to should be right on top of 295 at Chamberlain Farms. That's actually right where they had that terrible wreck last night on 301 up at that location. That is up by where, very close to Parham Road, up in this location, right up here. So we have Parham and we have Chamberlain. So this area, that's Parham that comes up right through here. Okay, so this is where you've got Magellan Office Park. That's Mercy Health Bon Secours, a lot of corporate offices there. You've got the Bank of America processing plant that's right over here. And then further on to the north, as Chamberlain comes up to the north. So now we're moving up as we head over here towards Atlee Station, Atlee Road. We're coming up towards the Rutland area. So that's going up by the Rutland Kroger and also up into the Rutland subdivision up through that location. So that's moving through. And again, a little further north from that, if you go up 301, that's going to take you up towards Hanover High School into that area. So again, next few minutes, we've got another 6 minutes left on this warning. The circulation is located right here. Let's go ahead. We'll add another storm track onto it this way to show you what's happening. New tornado warning just issued. New tornado warning just came out. That's being issued. 245 for that one?
I'll give you the paperwork right here for the city of Richmond and points north and east on that one. That's going to go up into Hanover County and probably the western sections of King William, King and Queen County, it looks like.
Yeah, northwestern King William, southeastern Hanover County, southeastern Caroline County, northwestern King and Queen, and the city of Richmond. So severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado over Glen Allen near Mechanicsville. It's moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour. You know, we don't litter. We pick up all the papers, folks. Don't worry, though. We just drop them on the ground and put them out of the way. But that's this storm, okay, continuing to move off towards the northeast. Take that off of there. I want to move the, I want to go ahead and move this map off to the north. So you can see we have this warning that is expiring, the storm that is really up over Lakeside. Richmond, 225, you're in the clear from this, okay? You're in the clear from this at 225, Richmond, okay? And probably Hanover by, Henrico by 230. But here's the storm. Again, it's going to expand off to the north. This is going to be a long track warning for us because of the speed of this storm. And again, this is a radar detected rotation that is ongoing right now. So we'll add in a new track for you on this one right here. Take it up and bring it off towards the northeast. So this again is going up close to 301, and then it's kind of bearing off to the northeast. So if we take this at about 40 to 50 miles an hour, here we go. We're going up towards Solomon Store, Chamberlain Heights, Chamberlain, Atlee Station, Atlee. It's going to move up over towards Studley, okay, where you've got the little Studley post office, Studley General Store that's located right there. All the people in Hanover tell me there's great stuff at that store, by the way. Okay, and it's going to move off to the northeast towards Duggett's Fork, Bowersville, Blanton Crossing. So this is going to kind of go up between 360 and 301 as it goes to north, up into that area. So you're going to go up, you are starting to move into more rural areas, really once you get past Hanover High School. That's where 301 goes down from 4 lanes to 2. All right, in that area. So here are some of the locations this can be seen. Again, we don't have any of the little symbols that give us the little rotating cylinders, or we've got, you know, the little markers on this to show us where these storms are going, but we do have a pretty good shear rate indicated, pretty good rate of twisting. It's right on top of basically 295 right now, okay? So it's right here. So there's Chamberlain Avenue. There's our little shear area. So right here's Chamberlain, there's Atlee. So we've got Cool Springs Elementary Chickahominy Middle School, Atlee High School. They're located right here, okay? That's the area that we're looking at. So this storm's coming right up through those areas. So hopefully those schools have taken their precautions. Hopefully Hanover County is holding those students at school, because in Hanover, the elementary students come home early. They come home first. High school kids are later. Chesterfield's kind of the opposite of that, as you can see up through this area. And then a little further up to the north, that's when you're going to get into the Hanover High School complex. Kersey Creek and Oak Knoll schools added there also. All right, so this is a shear indicator for us here. That continues to show shear. Okay, that's pretty decent for this storm. It popped down a little bit. It's not as high as it's been. This is probably 11.2 meters per second, so that's low end. Matt, you're flagging. Go what you got.
Yeah, you know, we're looking at that one, John, and I don't like what I'm seeing here still in southern Chesterfield County. We're starting to see this bottom edge flare up again, which is pretty similar to the same place we saw it flare up just a couple of minutes ago on the initial tornado warning. When you look at the velocities in this area here, the concern is there is some red and then there's a gap of green. So I wonder if aloft we might be starting to see something happening and it may come down to the ground. So that's one thing I'm going to be watching. Again, right now there is nothing with it, but it is something that I'm certainly watching. Of course, the concern right now, as you said, is that one area, that shear rate that's showing upwards of 11 to 12, which is pretty strong because that's indicating good mixing in the air, and that's the one up in Hanover County. Although it's now showing in the new scan here, 90 seconds later, some weakening in that.
But it's been cycling the entire time.
Exactly.
It's been cycling the entire time. And by the way, that little shadow you just saw go by the cameras, don't worry, that's our big boss coming in here to help us out. So he can walk in front of anything he wants to. So, all right, let's go ahead and go back to the storms. One thing we need to do, okay, that first warning is about to expire in 90 seconds from us here. I want to take you back to the reflectivity, and I just want to widen this view back out to kind of show you what's going on. So this is the storm that's got the warnings on it right now, the one of concern. But again, as Matt has said, we're watching other storms coming up from the south here in this direction, okay, moving up, as you can see, through southern parts of Chesterfield County. So there is another pretty good cell, and these are going to be rapidly moving cells this afternoon. These things are going to be howling away. So you can also see other storms down to the south. The warnings down to the south of us have all come to an end for the time being, but there's more action down here in the Carolinas. And Emily, while you are standing on there, will you go ahead, and you're going to have to hit the space bar on that computer.
It killed the thing.
Hit the space bar, and then will you hit state on top of just hit the state view on top of this to reset the view back so I can get it back the way I want.
Hold on.
You go, hold on, pop, pop, pop. There you go. And then now will you go ahead and hit the connect button?
Yes.
All right, thank you. That turns the hand tracker back on. Just all these little technical things we got to do here, but I didn't like the way I turned that. But this is the warning for us here. Again, this warning expiring in 23 seconds from right now. So our concern and the warning is going to be areas off to the north, again, west of Studley, right here. So we've got Studley, you've got Ashland, you've got Hanover Courthouse. The Hanover Courthouse complex is right here. Okay, so when you get up into this area, that's the Hanover County Courthouse location, and that's where you're going to have Hanover Tavern, and you're going to have the Hanover Government Complex, and you've got the soccer fields that are also over there by the park, and that continues Crosses Corner, Ashcake in this area. So now we're right on top of, this storm is right on top of Atlee Ridge, which means it is right by Atlee High School, Chickahominy Middle School, Cool Springs Elementary School. My friend Lee Nelson taught many years at Cool Springs Elementary School. Off to the east of it, you're going to go over into the area where you've got Pearson's Corner Elementary School. A lot of kids from the King's Charter area go to school there. All right, so again, this storm right here by Mimosa Hills, this is the location. This is the little weak spot, the little notch in the storm. Right through here that we continue to eye on this. So widen the view out a little bit. The warning to the south is gone. Really, it's the warning here. Let's get the city of Richmond. City of Richmond, you are out of this storm. Henrico County, you are out of this storm, okay? But start watching the one down to the south. This is Hanover County, King William, King and Queen, a small part of southeastern Caroline County, basically over by around Meadow Events Park and points to the southeast, and then up through the two King and Queen, King and William counties. Okay, so take you up here. We'll add in a new storm track on this to show you what's going on with this storm. Take it right here from where we are, move it off in this direction here at 50 miles an hour, which is the indicated speed. And again, these are the places that it's going to threaten in the next, basically the next 14 minutes, okay? So Crosses Corner at 2:21 p.m. These are all places where you need to be taking your tornado precautions, being in your safe spot right now, which A lot of rural areas out here, so there aren't a lot of basements. That is the lowest, most surrounded interior room in your house. That's the place you want to be in as we get going with this storm. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued. That just came up. That is in effect until... Yep, 2:45 p.m. That's got Chesterfield County in it, probably the city of Richmond. It's tailing right on the back end of this storm right here. So there it's for this storm down here that we were watching down to the south. Matt, go ahead. You give us the details on that.
So you take the leading edge of that. We're talking about being near Twin Valley Farms at 2:22, and your current time right now is 2:17. That's going to then move up to Huguenot Farms at 2:23, then cross the river into Tuckahoe Village at 2:24. This storm is producing some very strong gusty winds. This is the one that we've noticed maybe some upper air rotation just a few minutes ago. Right now, it's located right along Route 60 Midlothian Turnpike. This is 288, so we're probably somewhere right near Independence Golf Club, maybe a little bit east of that, maybe near, there's the apartment complex there, right in Midlothian Village.
Midlothian Village, you're just west of J.B. Watkins Elementary School.
So that would take you then over there, and that's going to go into then the northern sections of Chesterfield County, then crossing the river. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
You're by the post office over there. You're over by Joseph A. Banks.
Yeah.
You're over by the tavern.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Right. So that's the whole area there.
Yeah.
So if you're in that area, you know, the older sections of Bon Air, I would be really concerned about this storm in terms of damaging winds, potentially, and again, heavy downpours with that. But this is a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, it is until 2:45, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, 2:45.
Yeah, 2:45. So we got about 25 minutes on that.
Yeah, tornado warning to the north, severe thunderstorm warning to the south. That's where everything is right now. So again, this is the tornado warning. It is over the northern part of Hanover County right now, so we'll come to me full, and we can kind of see what's going on here with the storm. It is to the west of Studley right now, so you can kind of see in this area. And of course, this severe thunderstorm warning extends to the top of the tornado warning because these things are just moving so rapidly. But this tornadic storm is about to exit Hanover County, so it's probably got about 4 or 5 minutes, and it's going to exit Hanover County, and then it's going to move up, as you can see, towards Norman's Bridge. So we're into the northwestern part of King William County, head up to King and Queen. It's probably going to pass to the west of Aylett as we speak right now. So widen the view out a little bit, slide it down, and again, this is the area that will keep the track on for you, and keep an eye on this storm as it continues to move quickly off to the northeast, right there, 45 miles an hour, okay? But of course, I want to point this out to you. If this thing holds together and they extend the warning downstream after 2:45, we would be going into Essex County and potentially Westmoreland County, portions of the northern neck, but it would be to the west of Tappahannock, to the northwest of Tappahannock. So here are the locations. This storm, Mango Hick around 2:30 p.m. Edgar, by the time we get to 2:33, you see Etna Mills in the next few minutes at 2:27. So that's 8 minutes from right now on the storm. As we come in a little bit closer on this, all right, you can kind of see what is going on here. Again, there's a pretty good little notch in that spot right there, which probably tells me that the shear rate from this storm here may have popped back up a little bit. No, it's actually still holding kind of low, and there's actually a little hole right there. This is not as impressive. This is under 10 here in this spot. Again, storm relative velocity, which accounts for the movement of the storm. You get a little green, a little red. There's a little circulation, and the actual regular velocity right there. The bright red's the outgoing much faster. That's because the storm's going this way at 50 miles an hour, so it's going to pick that all up quickly across the region. Again, widen the view back out just a little bit for you, kind of show you what is going on here. And again, we've got the storm that's now in Chesterfield County right here. Okay, down here, again, Midlothian Turnpike area to the west of us. So this is the storm. It's also headed up towards Short Pump. So this one's going to be passing a little further to the west. It's already pretty much north of US 60 Midlothian Turnpike, Robius Road area. So it's up by it's up by St. Edward's Catholic Church right now. It's also up as we head up towards what's the Trinity Episcopal. Located right there.
And going north from there, you're going to go up to the shopping center, so the left-hand side at Forest Hill and Huguenot Road, where Frank's is, and New Trader Joe's. So that's kind of where that one's going to pass there before crossing the James River. So
you tell that Matt and I do a lot of shopping.
We do a lot of food eating, that's for sure. And I actually have that track on there, John. So you know, right now, Lorraine 222 is what we're looking at there. You know, and what I did was actually led with the gustiest part of the winds. We're marking shear rates on this at about 7-8, so we're not seeing full rotation, but we're certainly seeing maybe some gusty winds coming down from the sky into the ground, which could give us winds at 50, 60, maybe up to 65 miles per hour. So that's something we are looking at. Remember, this is a severe thunderstorm warning until 2:45 for Chesterfield County, which then extends into Henrico County. And you can see our track then takes you into Henrico County, Glenbrook Hills, over to River Road Hills, 225, and that then continues on toward 295 in time. So that's one of the things we're looking at here. Again, I continue to look at this. I continue to also watch the velocities on this. I was
just going to say to tell you to punch up those numbers.
I'm not seeing a couplet here, but, you know, I just don't like the way it looks. I don't like this gap. That's my problem.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be a gap. This should be all red. This gap kind of gets me a little concerned.
Which means there's a weak spot in there. But what are those? What are those? Those are the actual velocities. Go ahead and query
Straight
that.
up velocities? Yeah, I'll give you
query those velocities. So the problem is even with these straight line winds, 54 miles per hour, that's going to be enough to potentially cause wind damage, and that's also associated with the motion of the storm. So any heavy rain from the storm that's going to pull this down is going to potentially produce strong, damaging wind gusts across the region. So again, we have the warning, the tornado warning until 2:45. That storm now looks like it's exited Hanover County. Matt, you were going to say something?
Because of this storm here, the University of Richmond has issued a shelter in place just in a preparation of that storm coming. Again, not like
tornado warning for Chesterfield.
Tornado warning,
Chesterfield County.
That's the one that we're watching. Folks.
That's the one right here. Okay.
What's that, until 2:50?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I can actually just query it real quick.
You just query it real quick. Okay, let's come on down here. We'll come down here to this storm. So it's
2:45, tornado warning, Chesterfield County. So this is exactly that same one that we were just looking at there, John. If you want to take it over, you sure can.
Yeah, bring it up over here. So, and we'll take a look. Where did they say that storm was located on the warning?
It was capital Bonaire, right over Bonaire.
Bonaire. Okay, so take me full so I can come in and zoom in on this a little bit better, because we went down a little too far when I zoomed in here. So here's the tornado warning. It is the storm west side of Bonaire. So again, it is in this location here. Okay, there is Midlothian Turnpike in this area. So this is the storm. Again, right here by Tuckahoe. There we continue. So that's what we've got. We're going to widen this out so we can actually put the track on for this storm that we've got and go in. Whoops, click that, click it again. Here we go. All right, and we'll take it here from this storm. Again, moving off to the northeast, this is probably about 45 miles an hour. So as we go here, take that storm. And again, here are the locations that it is going to. It's by Pilloway Farms, Hickory Hill, Huguenot Farms in the next couple of minutes, Moorhead, Dorset Woods, River Road Hills. Again, all these areas, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now as we speak. Okay, as we speak, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. Again, this tornado warning, that is until 2:45 p.m. this afternoon. That is for us here, again, in the Chesterfield County area, and that warning extends up to Henrico and extends all the way up into portions of the west, kind of the center portion of Hanover County. It's not Mechanicsville. It's not as we head off to the west. Again, so that is this storm, and we can see where the warning has come out. We can see where, again, towards Blanton Crossroads and some of these areas, we're seeing the shear increasing a little bit on this. So the shear rate on this storm has popped up a little bit right here in the Bonaire area, so a little bit more. We've got another good area that's located off to the north, that area that we're keeping the shear rate on. As far as the actual storm relative velocity, again, this is, the fast-moving storm, so we're not seeing the typical couplet associated with this. Okay, let's come back out a little bit, show you what's going on. All right, take you back here. Okay, this is the warning for Chesterfield County over into the Tuckahoe area. And we've also got the warning that continues off to the north of us. And this storm actually starting to look a little bit better here, okay, now that it's moved over into King William County. All right, and it's got a pretty good shear on that.
Yeah, it sure does. 11.1. So once we start to get above 11, 12, 13, we start to really see not only spin in the atmosphere, but then possibly coming on down, maybe a funnel cloud or something like that. It just dropped a touch here.
Well, it just dropped because it moved from where we had it touched.
But here we go. Tuck Fork at 231, Beulahville at 236, over toward Carthonville at about 243, and then Salvia at 244. That's heading up across King William, King and Queen County.
Yeah,
this
Beulahville,
until till 2:45.
Yeah, and then again downstream from that, it's northwest. Looks to be it'll pass northwest of Tappahannock, that cell. So let's come back here to the cell that is located down here over portions of Chesterfield County. Again, pretty much as you can see, Derbyshire Road, and these are their State Route 6. So it's leaving Bonaire. Okay, it's leaving Bon Air, it's leaving Chesterfield, so it'll be gone from Chesterfield, definitely by 2:30 because of the speed of these things. But now it's up into the western end, so we're up by Patterson Avenue, we're up by West End Assembly of God Church, we're also up here by Quiocasin Road, so we're up here as you head up Parham Road, go by all the stores located there. It's got the corner bakery that's okay there at Patterson and Parham in that area located, and going up by Tuckahoe, so it's going up to the west, going to come close, probably just to the west, Henrico Doctors Hospital. And then, of course, Parham Hospital is up there a little further off to the north. So this storm continuing to rapidly move off towards the northeast. Okay, I mean, these guys are just zooming, so we can just constantly be updating tracks on them for you here to kind of show you what is going on with the tracks headed in this direction. This one does not want to click. There you go. All right, clicking it twice doesn't help. All right, so here we go, up this way. Taking it up through here, so it goes up towards Glen Allen, and again, in this speed, this is the locations it's headed to. It's headed up towards, you can see, Moorhead, Dorset, Woods, Quiocasin at 231, that just updated right there. West Ham, 232, English Hills, as we head up towards 234. So we're also up, besides, we talked about the shopping malls, the church, we have got Freeman High School over on this side. We've got J.R. Tucker over here, okay? And then not too far off to the north, okay, will be Hermitage High School, and then Glen Allen High School also over in Henrico County. So those schools need to be taking their precautions right now, along with all the elementary schools surrounding them there right now. Matt, you've got something?
Yeah, this is a really well-defined signature that we often see in radar, which is where we have a lot of reds and then a center point green, what we call a bounded weak ecoregion. So think about this. It is the donut, the spin of the possible storm, and then the center point is the hole in the donut. That is what we're looking at there. That indicates to us that there is pure rotation going on inside of this storm. This is the storm that has a tornado warning for King William, King and Queen County until 2:45. The track is up here, Owenton until 2:40, over to Helmet at 2:42, moving to Central Point at 2:46, and Tignor at about 2:46 as well. So this again is going to cross over out of King William into King and Queen County. This, John, I believe it's not 17, coming out of Bowling Green over to Tappahannock. 17's to the north of that.
Bowling Green to Tappahannock, you really don't get there because it's 301.
301 that kind of snakes around.
Yeah,
so that's
that snakes around, and then 17 goes up there. But
up.
you might be looking at just north of 30.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm looking at. So that's what we're keeping in mind. Hey, I want to just mention this real quick. A tornado watch has been posted for the entire area until 8 p.m. tonight. So we have 2 active tornado warnings and now a tornado watch until 8 p.m. tonight. We're here with you the entire time, John. You're watching that one over in Henrico County.
Right. Not surprised that the tornado watch has been issued for us here. Okay, so let's look at the storm here by Quiocasin. We'll clear it off. Okay, now the storm will come in close, kind of show you where it's at now. One of the things going on with this, there is a bounded area here on the west side of this by Wedgwood. See what Matt was saying to kind of the donut hole, although it doesn't look like the donut hole. This looks like somebody, took a bite out of the bagel. But right here by Wedgwood, okay? And there's Tuckahoe, so there's Patterson Avenue. There is West Broad Street going up through here, okay? So this is when you're getting over into the English Hills area. Again, J.R. Tucker High School. This is very close to J.R. Tucker High School right now. So this is where the storm is. I want to look to see what the shear rate is located right here. Send it up over Tuckahoe. That's not a huge shear rate. That is under 10 in that green. Not seeing anything else that's real bright with this, but again, that's going to be what we'll be watching with the storm. Widen it back out. And again, this tornado warning in effect now until 2:45 this afternoon. So you can see this area right here. We'll just take and add another storm track onto this right there. So here we go. Bring the storm track from where it is right now at Tuckahoe. Take it off in this direction. That takes you off to the northeast. We go to 43 miles per hour. So again, it's going through English Hills, West Briar, Laurel Village, Laurel Lakes, okay? West Jenningsville between now and 2:37 p.m. So you can see these areas here. Okay, as we come in a little bit closer, see some of the areas that we are going to see. So we're going to be going up, again, towards Glen Allen High School, over in that location. Also over here to where they are building the new temple for the Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. It's right there. That's going to be on Staples Mill Road. That's still under construction. You can see the big spire that's going up, though, with it, however. And then you've got further off to the north, we start moving up into the areas of Hanover County. So it's going to cross into the river. A lot of new housing developments in Hanover County where Hanover and Henrico come together just west of US 1. So it's going up into all those locations there in that area. And again, that is going to be in the next 15 minutes. Again, another 15 minutes for this tornado warning that is in effect. Again, the one for Chesterfield, Hanover, and those areas. I want to widen the view out. I really want to tell you that, Chesterfield County, this area here, Chesterfield County, you are clear of this warning, okay? You are clear of this warning, so that's all fine with that there, okay, that you have. And then you go up through Tuckahoe and those areas, Mechanicsville. So this one is almost due west of Mechanicsville right now. It's about to cross 295. Matt, I think there's a camera at 295 and 33 if you want to take a peek on the traffic.
Let me see if I can grab that up there for you.
Yeah. And see what we see going on right there. But that's the storm. And again, the other storm that's off to the north, way up here, it's kind of breaking down a little bit, all right, in this location, okay, but this is over the center portion of King William, King and Queen County. It is to the west of Alet right now. The donut hole doesn't look to be as impressive, and probably the shear rate not as impressive on that. Well, the shear rate's still okay, but it's still that bright green, which puts it at about 10 or so. Not the highest that we've seen, but enough to potentially spin something up across the area, again, through here, up towards Alet, again, towards Turpin. So we go Alet. If you go further on Alet, you would go up. That would take you up towards where you've got the Tappahannock Regional Hospital located, where 17 and 360 come together, and then you go into Tappahannock and head off towards the northwest as 17 goes up and eventually makes its way over to Fredericksburg. All right, back down to here to the storm that we can see here. Okay, you see the bright green there. That's actually a little bit better looking circulation than the storm right here. The shear does not look as impressive with this. It's spread out a lot from this storm. There it is now. It's jumped up a little bit here. So we're up here as we go into this area, again, by Sweetbriar Park, by Bullard. So there is Staples Mill Road. This should be North Parham Road right over here. That should be Parham Road. So Staples Mill Road is right in this location. And if this is Parham, so you've got the little shopping center that's over here. It's got the several offices there. I think it's got a T-Mobile store there also going through. So that's in the location that that's at. And again, there is 295 right here, and there's Staples Mill coming all the way through. So this is the part where Staples Mill kind of widens out a little bit, okay, and becomes a little less busy as far as traffic is concerned. Ooh, Matt, what you got right there?
So these two cameras that I have here, this is the one here, this is 64 and 33 Staples Mill. You were mentioning that. Obviously, we got a major problem here. 2 lanes closed. This looks like it's coming into the eastbound direction. That's a problem there. The other one that I pulled up here is 95 and 64. Obviously, heavy rain pretty much on the east side of the storm that you were just talking about here. So just traffic update, stay off 64.
Is that a fire truck or
you got one fire truck here blocking lanes. You got a second one here with 2 police vehicles, 3 police vehicles. Looks like an ambulance here. Obviously, a big issue, and people are slowing down for sure. So that's just a little bit of traffic there. Again, that is 64 and Staples Mill eastbound heading from Short Pump down toward the city.
Yep.
Toward Bryant Park.
All right. So again, that's the area. It's, we've got the heavy rain over us here, and that creates slick conditions on the road, so creating traffic problems. Again, we come back over here, show you what's going on with the reflectivity on this storm. Again, it's not looking as impressive for us as it did a little while ago. That shear rate has reduced a little bit, and again, now the storm is north of 64. So if you are in, for example, areas south of Patterson Avenue, okay, you go south of Patterson Avenue down through here, so you're down by Collegiate School, you're down by, River Road Baptist Church, the big Montessori school there. I think you guys are fine now. This storm has passed you and is now moving off to the north, headed over into Hanover County. And again, we've got about 10 more minutes left on this warning here that's over by the Laurel area. That continues. Again, it's crossing 295 right now, the Glen Allen area, so it's just moving up, not too far away from where my friend John Fries and his family, Teresa Fries, and their daughter live. So, yes, go ahead.
This is the one that's up in King William County.
Ooh, that's
with
exploded.
Storm motion. Now, with storm motion, it's marking 105 mile per hour winds. So if we're translating that down, we have some big time problems. Now, I'm going to take storm motion off for a second.
Go to storm relative.
Storm relative. So now we're going to get a better look at the couplet there.
Yeah.
So if we just click this off for a quick second here, this is really showing some pretty tremendous gate-to-gate shear.
Yep.
And what we're looking at here, this bright red, I might have just had it, 68 miles per hour, and the green next to it is minus 30. So we have roughly 100
mile an hour spin.
So you know, if this were to translate to the ground, we're looking at low-end EF2 if it were to translate to the ground. Again, let's just put a track on this for you. This is, again, in King William going up to King and Queen County, and we'll drop a track right on the leading edge of that. It is moving at roughly 50 miles per hour, as all of our storms are.
Yeah.
And again, here's that track. So 238 Beulahville, Owenton at 243, to Salvia at 246, and we're moving all the way down Evelyn at about 251 and Battery 251. Again, this is a storm of concern up in King William.
Matt, clear the track off and go down to where you pointed that couplet to be. Okay?
Yeah, so it just updated.
Yeah, just click on that.
Yep.
Just click on one of them. Now, if you look on the left-hand side of your screen, it will tell you the altitude off the ground.
Yeah, sure. So that altitude off the ground is at 3,900 feet.
3,900 feet up. So that's again, 4,000 feet up. We're seeing those winds, okay? And again, this is taking out the motion of the storm that's moving 50 plus miles an hour. So you've got air that's moving away at approximately 60 plus miles an hour, 30 miles an hour going towards the radar. So that is the rotation on that storm, which is up here. So that is this one right here. And again, this is coming out at the end of its warning cycle here.
Yeah.
And again, we are also getting to the point up here where we start to get into the transition to where we have to go to the transition for the radar out of Sterling versus the radar out of Wakefield because of the distances involved. And they're both starting to shoot higher up in the sky. So this may be a little tough to see. I would not be surprised to see this warning get extended. In fact, they just extended it right now. So that's probably going to be Essex County, Richmond County, Westmoreland County, Northumberland.
King and Queen County, and Westmoreland County as well.
Westmoreland, King, Queen, Westmoreland, Essex.
Richmond, Caroline, and Essex.
And Essex, okay. So this is going to include basically the northwestern part of this. It probably hasn't plotted up right there yet. As we come through, we take it down here. It might just be, there it goes right there, looking to see if it could, to the west of Tappahannock, okay, which is what we thought. West of Tappahannock, west of Warsaw, but it includes Carrot. There's 17 going up through here. This is Templeman up in these locations, and it takes you up towards Montrose and also up towards Baynesville. This is the area right here, just to the west of Tappahannock, where that devastating EF3 tornado touched down back in February of 2016. So just to the west of Tappahannock, but in these locations heading into the northern neck, this is where you need to be in your safe spot right now. And this tornado warning in effect
until 3:15, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Well, that's right, because it's going to zoom by. It's going to hit the Chesapeake Bay and move out of the way. So another 15 minutes of this, 22 minutes of this storm. So you can see it's rapidly moving here. I'll put a quick storm track on it and take it up in this direction and move it off towards the northeast. So we go from where the storm is right now. This is going to be all the way up here through Champlain, through Carrot, all the way up towards Burnsville and Montrose. So you see it up there. These are all the places where we can see the storm going. Again, it's going to go up towards Beasley at 246, Lloyd's at 250, Champlain 251, Carrot at 251, Newtown, it is there right now. Again, this is a radar detected rotation, but we just showed that to you just a couple minutes ago. Impressive rotation ongoing up in that location. That is for this warning. Again, King William County. Everybody, King William County southward, you're out of that warning. The warning that is here for this storm coming out of now up by Ashland. Okay, so it's between Ashland and over between Virginia Center Commons right now. So if you come up right up here, there's the Ford dealership right here at the end of Lake Ridge Road, which, by the way, if you run from Virginia Center Commons, go out the back, go up Lake Ridge to the Ford and back. It's an 11-mile run, friends, okay? But that continues here. This storm, though, really not as impressed by it right now. This one looks to be winding down. The shear rate just does not look to be very good. So this one may be winding down and done. So this warning is due to expire 5 minutes from right now. So I think this storm, unless it cycles quickly, is probably going to be out of the way and not going to be an issue. Downstream, I want to take a look, see what we've got downstream from us here.
We don't have a whole lot, John.
No,
we're looking pretty good now.
Everything's pretty good right now. We got a lot of stuff down here. Storm, again, Emporia. Ooh, that doesn't look good there, the other side of Emporia.
Yeah, no, I was looking at the velocities there. I'm not seeing anything yet, and there's not a whole lot on shear rate. There's some stuff developing just on the Virginia-North Carolina line to the east of what would be probably Skippers at that point.
Yep.
But that's still not fully, but something for us to watch. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Southampton County and also southern Greensville County until 3 o'clock, including Sussex County.
Sussex and
ending just at Wakefield. So
ending just at Wakefield.
Kind of just there. But again, a heavy rain, some gusty winds, but not like the possible.
Yeah, but that is in a zone that's got probably some favorable shear aloft.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be one for us to keep our eye on for you over the next hour or so. But if anything, that storm is going to trend east of Wakefield, trend up towards Williamsburg, so it'll stay more in the area of responsibility for the Norfolk television stations than for us here. Again, coming back home here over us, again, this warning, well, it's got
extended. That looks like they extended the one that we're looking at near Virginia Center Commons, or just north of that.
They did.
It looks like it, or it's still the other one.
No, that's still the other. They're both due to expire at 2:45.
Right, you got it. Yeah.
They're both due to expire at 2:45. So, yeah, if they were to be the axis of that one is wrong. If they were extend this one, it would have to be further to the west.
You're right.
Okay, but here's that storm right now, as you can see by Ashland. It doesn't look dramatic.
Right.
It doesn't look dramatic. It just looks like a plain old thunderstorm that's got some pretty good rain ongoing in it right now. So we can just probably see it. You know, we click all these buttons. I don't know what's going to pop up when I click this one. May not let me do it. But the rainfall rates here look to be, it's going to give me the warning.
You want rainfall rates, John?
Yeah, it's
you're going to have to, so the raindrop in the center next to SF, you see?
Yeah, I did that. Oh, okay, no.
That should have, actually, that's going to be.
It's because the warnings are on. It's clicking the warnings.
No, it's at the top of the screen.
Oh, okay.
Click the raindrop, click the top of the screen, tells you how much rain is falling in a certain period of time.
Yeah.
I designed all this. I've confused John completely. Sorry about that. Anyway, John, so I'm looking at that storm to the east or west of Indian Neck. This has a great couplet on it using shear velocity here. And so if we just kind of take a track on that just to keep our viewers informed, because this is that tornado warning in effect until 3 o'clock this evening. Just to show you, again, we're talking about, you mentioned Champlain, 253, Corrette at about 253, over to Layton, and then we get really right onto the edge of the Chesapeake Bay, or I guess that would actually be Potomac River. Right, Potomac River, exactly. So that's where that takes you there. But good what do you call marking here. In fact, I'll just throw that up there real fast. Some of the reds that we're noticing here coming in at about 43 and going away at 10, so about 50. Sorry, flip that around. So it's not great. But
it weakened.
But it's enough to keep this tornado warning in effect, of course, at this point.
Yeah, well, I would say maybe at that point we might want to come over here. If we actually come over here just for a second, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to that storm in a second, and I want to take us out of this storm here. So that just doesn't look like it's anything. I'm going to come up here, okay, and I'm going to look at this storm in this area. But what I am going to do is I'm going to change over to the Sterling radar. All right, and take a look at some of the things. So we're now looking at this we should be looking at this from the north. Okay, out of this here, as we see that, there we go. So it just changed around. There is what we see looking from the north with Sterling. So the colors are actually going to reverse on you as we look at the velocities, because the radar is on the north side of the storm instead of down to the south. But we might be able to see, this is the pretty bright green inbound here, okay, that we have. Let me go ahead and shut this warning off for you. And we'll go ahead so we can go and we can query this a little bit better and show you what's going on. So these numbers, okay, minus 66 miles an hour. So it's 66 miles an hour coming towards the radar site. So moving this way. Remember now the radar's at the top of the screen instead of down here at the bottom. And then this is a little bit less. We go to storm relative velocity. You can see it's 44. And then if I bring you in the shear rate, all right, the shear rate doesn't look as impressive, okay, and that's probably because of the altitude that we're looking at here compared to what we could see from the Wakefield radar. So if we change over and go back to the shear rate from the Wakefield radar, it should be a little bit brighter there, but even still, this has diminished a little bit, okay? This has diminished a little bit in this area. And of course, we've got some markers on for some of the storms now also associated with this, but those are probably just heavy rainfall makers because they're green. All right, let's go ahead and go back to the warning, go back to the conventional radar here. Reflectivity to show you what is going on with this. Again, this is the storm. This, again, moving in through basically starting to move out of King and Queen County, moving into Essex County, headed towards Champlain, headed towards Carrot. So these are going to be the areas that are going to be seeing, again, very heavy downpours, gusty winds, again, in the next few minutes. So from Rexburg, Battery, Carrot, all the way up to Champlain, those are the locations where you want to be in your safe spot. Okay, this is where we had a radar indicated rotation from this storm, okay, that is moving quickly off to the northeast at about 50 miles an hour. Meanwhile, further on down to the south, I want to show you this. All the tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings over the metro area have now expired. They are now clear. Again, northeast of Ashland, as you head up towards Doswell, that's where we've got some heavy downpours ongoing right now from this storm. But this storm right now no longer has any severe characteristics at the time being, okay? Otherwise, just heavy rain over us here. Severe thunderstorm warning down to the south. Here's the storm southeast of Emporia. This is a little bit of a concern because you can see it is bowing right here. So it's got a little bow. That means there are strong winds blowing through this way. But this warning is taking this storm in this direction towards Cortland and then eventually probably up into Isle of Wight County down to the southeast of us. And then eventually this could head over towards the Williamsburg area, over towards Busch Gardens. But that is technically outside of our area of responsibility. So, but down in those locations, that is a storm to watch. And then otherwise, it's really, we're waiting to see what comes with the next surge that's coming out of here, down through the Rocky Mountain area and points to the north. Many of those could be going off to the east of us. Again, this tornado warning remains in effect now for the next 13 minutes over us here. Storm is right now on the border of Essex County. Again, it's not looking as impressive. One of the problems we have with this, it is a far distance away from the radar site, so we are not only looking higher up, okay, in the sky, but as you go away, the radar beam spreads out, so you start to lose a little bit of definition in the storm as to how far it's going. Okay, right here, let's go ahead and take a look at this, put a new track on this storm, again, up in this direction. It continues to move off to the northeast, so as you can see right here, 54 miles an hour puts it over into the Patuxent River very soon. But again, Champlain, Chance, Layton, Burnsville, Montrose, all these places, this is where this storm is going between now and 3 p.m. this afternoon. Okay, watching the shear rate on it. The shear rate is, it's not what we were seeing earlier with the storm. So there's an entire potential that there may have been something that quickly dropped. That's what spiked the shear rate up, and then it lifted back up into the sky. But again, we always operate with extreme caution on these storms. Matt?
All right, a couple of things, John. We're going to get back to this in a second here, but the storm that we were initially tracking when we were moving through Tuckahoe, which was about a half hour ago, we've got some fresh video in of students that are sheltering in place here. You can see this video coming up of at University of Richmond. Again, this was something that spun up very quickly. Tornado warnings were issued. This tornado warning has since expired, which is good news, but all students got out of their classrooms, away from windows, down into the hallway. You know, you practice these drills all the time, and today was one of those days where many schools had to put this into use, right? You're getting in that center of the hallway, you're staying away from windows, you're doing the correct things, and many of these students actually keeping their heads down, some of them staying away, of course, from windows. A couple of quick things for you. We have the latest 7 flights canceled at Richmond Raceway, Richmond International Airport, and many schools are canceling their after-school activities. Chesterfield is one. I know Louisa earlier. I'm sure there are many more. So expect that probably most schools are not going ahead with any after-school activities at this point. Yeah.
Louisa actually sent the students home early today.
At 1 o'clock, yeah.
University of Richmond, one thing to point out, in 2004 in Gaston, there was an EF0, or an F0 at that time because they didn't have the EF scale, but an F0 tornado that touched down on campus there.
And then even on the September 17th, a very infamous storm, the tornado sirens were actually issued or sounded at University of Richmond. We were here watching that happen.
And at VCU also.
Right.
Because VCU installed them. VCU installed them, and then U of R decided to install them after Gaston. So
yeah, all right. So just continue on with this storm. This is the one that's up around 17 in Essex County.
There it is. You see it right there. Yeah. And we've got also over here, here's the storm. There is an update coming through on it right now, I believe. Go ahead, Emily. Tell us what you got.
Warning for northwestern King and Queen, East Central Caroline, and North Central King William counties is canceled. So
it's only Essex County, Richmond County, and Westmoreland County right now, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. So they've trimmed it back again. It does look like that circulation is weakening. We haven't seen too much with that at the moment. So
yeah, so that's weakened and that's done, and so this has got again another 8.5 minutes to go.
John,
or so.
Yes.
Question.
You maybe want to address this. It's a question that came in from one of our viewers.
Right.
Why are we not seeing flashes of lightning on, and we have the lightning turned on, and why are we not hearing thunder? It's because these are such low-top thunderstorms.
These are okay. There is not a tremendous amount of oomph in the atmosphere.
So I talked about this morning using the energy forecast. There wasn't energy when this stuff was coming through to give it the lift to kick.
Yeah, there isn't energy to make this thing bubbling and cauldering and stuff. But what there is a lot of wind aloft and a lot of wind that can twist these storms. So that's what's developing. This is not like the giant boiling pan of spaghetti that you forgot to put the salt in and stuff, and it's all about to spill over.
Don't put salt in your spaghetti.
Okay, but
don't do it.
This is
olive oil is much better.
Okay, olive oil, but this is one of the things where instead of that you've got the blow dryer blowing across it. Okay,
exactly.
That's producing this. So that's why these are low top storms, but there's a tremendous amount of shear, tremendous amount of twisting over us here. So again, this is the warning. It's been trimmed back, and again, even right here by Champlain, okay, there is just not a lot in the way of shear rate right now. So you can see right here, it is crossing US 17 as we speak, okay? But these numbers, if I were to go and query these numbers, okay, it's just not going to show me a whole lot. It's going to probably say down to maybe, 3.3 meters per second. So while we have 8 minutes left in the warning, it looks like the threat is rapidly diminishing. This probably is going to be, instead of a tornadic threat, if anything, it's going to be strong, gusty winds associated with this. You can see the bright red right here. Okay, so these areas here, this is allowing for the motion of the storm. And these storms moving 50 miles an hour. Okay, it is got winds in here in this area that are just screaming. Okay. So they're coming down really rapidly, 58 miles an hour, 49 miles an hour. Up here in that bright pink, that's a little bit higher, and I can't grab this, shut that off right there and pull it down. There's a 75 mile an hour. So that's a potential. And again, we're talking right here at this location. This is most likely about 4,300 feet up. All right. So heavy rain can pull that wind down, could produce 75 mile an hour wind gusts. That's that's winds you see in an EF0 tornado. It's winds that you see in a minimal hurricane. Strong wind gusts like that, still enough to bring trees down. It is still enough to pull the roof off of a house, okay? So a lot of times, we worry when we see pictures of damage. Was it a tornado? Was it a severe thunderstorm? A lot of times, if the roof is gone, folks, the roof is gone. It doesn't matter what caused it. You've got a very big problem to deal with there. Okay, so this storm is winding down right now over us here in central Virginia. We'll go back to the big radar picture. And you can see that, okay, the storm is now by Carrot. This is that tornado warning. It's going to rapidly move to the west of Montrose. Again, this appears to be weakening, probably no longer a threat. There's another storm off to the west of it, continuing to move that way. And then we've come back down here, kind of recap everything. The storm that was the second warning, that's now moving over the western part of King William County, King and Crown, and then you can see right through here, okay, that we've got to be going off to the northeast and moving away from us. And then further on back down to the south, we've got the severe thunderstorm warning right here. That's been trimmed back a little bit. They pulled it down. It was extended all the way to Wakefield. It's been trimmed back a little bit here across central Virginia. So again, we're looking here at the storms expiring in a few, the warnings expiring for the northern neck area at 3 o'clock. So that's just about done. We are watching some other storms off to the west. We'll see how these are doing back here around Blackstone. I'm going to widen the view out a little bit. I want to take a look at the radar out of Blacksburg just so we can see what is going on and potentially looming off to the west of us, okay, to see if we see any more development off to the west. Not really seeing anything developing out here as it stands right now, but we may be seeing, if we get some breaks in the clouds, more storms developing, because breaks in the clouds would start to cook the atmosphere, cook that pan of spaghetti, cause it to boil and bubble, and that could lead us to some bigger storms that may develop a little bit later on in the afternoon. Matt's got the video right there. You take a look, Matt. You can see there's the visible satellite.
Right? So we were looking at those storms popping up in West Virginia from the Blacksburg site. These are the areas of breaks of the clouds that John's talking about. This is the low cloud deck with the rain and storms over us right now. So what John's saying is if this gets over us, this gets to the point we talked about before. We get the energy, we get the boiling of the pot, and things may pop again. The one thing that'll be interesting to see, because we're almost at 3 o'clock, sunset getting around 6:30, almost 7 o'clock.
Well, after 7
But the point is, you know, the sun's lower in the sky when this gets here. We may have some action, we might not. It's going to be worthwhile to see.
See how much time there is for for recovery. Okay, it's for recovery. It's just like like halftime of the football game. So again, close-up view of us right now. Things look pretty quiet now here across central Virginia. Again, the only storm report we have right now is the funnel clouds sighted off of Woolridge Road. That's the report that we have, and you may have.
There was also a funnel cloud reported near Staples Mill and Hungary Road.
Staples Mill and Hungary.
And that was from the second tornado.
From the second tornado, okay. So that's over Staples Mill, Hungary Road area. That's over by Glen Allen High School, and that location. That's, again, the storm that has moved well off to the north, significantly weakened. The storm up in the northern neck has weakened for us here. So what we are going to do is we are going to wind down our coverage for right now, and we are going to be monitoring the situation throughout the afternoon. Once again, the area is under a tornado watch until what time, Matt?
8 p.m. tonight.
Until 8 p.m. tonight here. So stay with us here for the latest from StormTracker8 on air, online, and be sure to join us coming up for 8 News at 5, 5:30, and 6.
Nice job. We're done. The master control's taken. Well, that was fun.